Ladies and gentlemen, as we stand on the brink of a brand new year, I want you to take a moment and reflect. Reflect not on what others expect of you, not on the noise of the world around you, but on the person looking back at you in the mirror. That person, the one you see every day, is your greatest responsibility. They are the foundation of your future, the architect of your destiny, and the only person who can truly change the trajectory of your life. In 2025, I want you to make a bold decision. I want you to focus solely on yourself, not in selfishness, but in self-preservation, not in arrogance, but in growth. Because here's the truth: you cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot save others if you haven't saved yourself. This year is about pouring into your own well. It's about being so focused on your own goals, your own healing, your own peace, that the distractions of the world fade into irrelevance. Let's talk about why focusing on yourself is not only necessary, but revolutionary. You've spent years, maybe decades, giving to others your time, your energy, your resources. You've been the friend who always picks up the phone, the family member who shows up no matter what, the employee who works harder than anyone else in the room. And while that generosity speaks to your character, it also depletes your spirit if you're not careful. You see, the world has a way of convincing us that selflessness is a virtue to the point of self-destruction. But I want you to challenge that narrative. I want you to ask yourself, who am I? If I strip away all the roles, all the expectations, all the demands, who am I at my core? And once you find that answer, hold on to it with everything you've got. 2025 is not about fixing everyone else. It's not about proving your worth to people who wouldn't recognize your value if it were handed to them on a silver platter. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, unapologetically. That means setting boundaries that protect your peace. That means saying no when your soul is crying out for rest. That means walking away from people, places, and situations that no longer serve your highest good. And yes, it's going to be uncomfortable. Growth always is. The moment you decide to focus on yourself, you'll notice the resistance. People will question your motives. They'll accuse you of being selfish, of changing, of not being the person they used to know. But let me tell you something: changing is the point. You weren't put on this earth to remain stagnant. You weren't created to stay the same year after year. You were made to evolve, to grow, to become. So when the criticism comes, and it will let it fuel you, let it remind you that you're doing something right. Because the people who benefit from your lack of boundaries will always be the loudest when you start enforcing them. But their opinions don't define you. What defines you is the work you're willing to put into yourself. And let me be clear, this kind of work isn't easy.